Every time that I Venmo somebody for drinks or dinner, I am forced to reckon with painful memories from my past. Allow me to explain. On Venmo, when you click the Pay or Request button, you get a list of top people, ostensibly a list of suggestions of who you may want to pay or request money from. And for me, the person at the top of my list is my ex-wife. Now, in theory, a shortcut like this seems like a useful feature. And it can be. Some of the top people are common people I often Venmo, like my partner, my therapist, or Wayne, the guy who cat sits for me. But how this algorithm that generates your top people works is something that I've never been able to understand. My ex-wife and I have been apart for 5 years, and trust me when I say that we have not Venmo'd each other anything in that time. So why is she still at the top of my list? I understand that cumulatively over time, she's maybe the person that I've Venmo'd the most with, but don't you think that a good algorithm would see that there haven't been any exchanges in 5 years and think, maybe she shouldn't be the top suggestion anymore? Like, I feel like the guy at my bodega could even deduce that. But the truth is that we actually have no idea how most social networks' algorithms work because of what Kelly Cotter, an assistant professor in the College of Information Sciences and Technology at Penn State University, calls the black box problem, which is when social networks are vague about the details of how their algorithms work in order to safeguard proprietary technology or just to remain mysterious. And when I reached out to Venmo to see if I could speak with anybody about their algorithm, they never returned any of my emails. Again, being so mysterious. Let's go back for a second. What the even is an algorithm to begin with? Algorithms on social media are basically rules that determine how content in your feed is presented to you. So when you go to the YouTube homepage, it shows you a curated set of videos that they think you'll enjoy, based on things like what you've watched in the past and other data that Google has mercilessly mined from your entire life. Venmo has something like this as well, but instead of feeding me more videos about camera gear, it suggests that I exchange money with my ex. And there doesn't really seem to be any way to remedy this issue. Some people have suggested that you can send small payments back and forth with somebody to bump them up in their rankings. If there even are rankings, which, again, we don't know. But some other people have noted that Venmo blocks duplicate payments within 10 minutes. So you need to either space the payments out or vary the amount of text so you don't have duplicate transactions with whatever within the same 10 minutes. This also just seems like a crazy way to go about this. It's clear that nobody really has any idea how this feature works, or how you can change your top people. In reality though, it's actually not that big of a deal for me. I mean, the worst thing that could happen is that I try to send a Venmo to somebody with a jokey message, and I accidentally send it to my ex. Which, come to think of it, would actually be a literal nightmare. But for other people, it's more serious. Like people who are confronted by their abuser's name and photo every time they open the app, and who can't do anything to get rid of it. I will admit though that the issue with the top people list is still better than Venmo's previous privacy issues, including people being able to view the president's personal Venmo. A lot of times after a breakup, we try to remove reminders of our exes from our everyday life in order to avoid painful memories or just to try to move on. I know that I've done this myself. Deleting photos from my phone, unfollowing people from social media. There are even whole blocks or areas of New York that I avoid going to for fear of running into an ex. When you're in a relationship, you enmesh your life with your partners in a million tiny ways that you don't even realize until you try to separate them. You continue to find these reminders for years to come, like much, much less fun Easter eggs. Polaroids in a drawer. Their old discarded jewel pods under your bed. An old Scrabble score sheet in the box. There are innumerable little reminders of your relationship scattered throughout your life that can really suck to unexpectedly stumble upon. That's kind of how I feel when I Venmo somebody. I see my ex's name and I'm reminded of a fight that we had, or a trip that we took, or a regret that I harbor. But I feel like if you're too caught up in the past, then you can't really write the future. One of the big things that I learned from getting divorced is that there's no promise of fairness or neatness in life. Sometimes 2 + 2 does not equal 4. Conversations are left unfinished, people make assumptions that aren't true, and misunderstandings aren't resolved. And maybe my Venmo algorithm is just reflecting that. Maybe the algorithm is like life. In the wake of a breakup, there's not some checklist that you can run down to feel better. Sometimes it just takes time for things to work themselves out naturally. Maybe gradually over time, my ex will move down the list of top people on my Venmo and will be replaced by new people who I will Venmo for new dinners and drinks and who will bubble up to the top of this mystifying algorithm. But for now, I'm just learning to live with the discomfort, both digitally and offline, and knowing that if I accidentally Venmo them for something with a stupid joke, it will be like if I ran into them on the street. It would be okay.